Alright, let's try and do this without hacking up a lung. Welcome everyone, I am quite sick, so hopefully I remember to edit out the coughing. We're doing Monaco and Canada today for the League Racing Series with Octane Online Racing. Oh fuck, did I get that right? I hope I got that right. It's a wet qualifying for Monaco, unfortunately, but it is a dry race luckily. So we're just going to go straight out into my first quali in the wet on the inters. It's not great though. Whenever I decided to cut the video, there we go. But yeah, did my outlap, went for outlap, went for the first lap, and yeah, bummed my wing on the corner there, which was a bit unfortunate, so I had to go back in and try again. So yeah, here we go. It's quite late in the qualifying time. I thought I would wait out as long as possible from memory. This happened 2 weeks ago, so I'm just not 2 weeks. That happened last weekend. I'm just trying to remember what it was I did exactly. I'll tell you what, waiting for that countdown on the microphone every time I pause it to cough is going to be annoying. Alright, so yes, it's going to be an okay lap. Didn't know whether to take this one through second or first gear. First felt good around there. Naturally you take this one in first. Geez, that's really wide, isn't it? Don't know about this corner though. Sometimes I'd take it in first and that felt better, it felt more controlled. But sometimes I'd take it in second for some reason because that felt or sounded better with the car. I don't rightfully know. This little chicane coming up was always alright. It gave me a couple of hiccups, but I'm usually okay with it. You sort of just drop down 5 gears from 7th and away you go. Through here, definitely gave me some issues. I took it very gingerly. I just wanted to complete the race. I just wanted to finish, effectively. After the shenanigans at Baku, all I wanted to do was finish. I think we had only like 7 or 9 races finish Baku, so I wanted to be one of those races finishing Monaco this weekend. So as we come across the line, it's going to put us in P9. Only P9? I thought it was like P7. Maybe it's P7 with some penalties. No, it's P9. Alright. Fair dues. Yeah, P9, there we go. All the usuals are up the front. Maserati, not Maserati, Mushu rather. Brado, Marcolay, Elusive. We're going to go super softs to ultra softs. The plan always, even in qualifying, was to go onto the super softs and run as long into the race. The plan being that all the front people in front of me would pit earlier, being on the softer compound tyre, and they get trapped in traffic because it's not a very long race. It only takes a little over a minute to get around here. So. On dries at least. So it was an okay start, brakes locked up, but I didn't hit anyone luckily. Just taking it very gingerly for the first lap. I think we lost a couple of places, but that's not a problem. As we come up to I forget the name of this hairpin, but either way, unfortunately Maserati, yeah, just gets caught on the wall there, and then as you can see on the minimap, he backed everyone up quite badly. Hyper Aussie, I think was one of the first out of the race, unfortunately. I think he's hit the wall there, so that's unfortunate, mate. Coming up onto lap 9, this wasn't very eventful, I'm afraid, so this is going to be pretty quick. Storken and myself got held up. Now, Storken is actually being given blue flags. I'm about to lap him. But it was Cresty and Hyped Up Gaming that collided. I think Hyped Up was trying to go around Kretzy and their wheels have just touched, and I think they've sort of knocked each other out. So and it almost happened again there. They were getting quite aggressive. There was a few little not aggressive, but a few little comments coming from both of them over the team radio. So. But nonetheless, they both let me go through because I think I was lapping the both of them. And that puts us up into P7. On to lap 19. We're really just pushing through this. I think this just shows that I hit the wall there, and so decided that was long enough on those tyres because really just wanted to make it through the race. I didn't want to risk it, so we pitted, I think, on lap 23. P6. Not too bad. Sort of best of the rest kind of position. But it was at this point on lap, 31, I had some terrible frame skipping, and that is about all of the race that I could show you. I spent about 10 laps with this frame skipping problem, and I had Nostalgic Meep coming up quite quickly behind me, and as you might know, he is somewhat of a rival with me. We're sort of very close in the points together, so I had a good lead on him, and then unfortunately, yeah, he was catching me, but luckily, because I had to go very gingerly for 10 laps through there just to keep the car on the track. So there you have the race results. We got 6th place, just in front of Nostalgic Meep. Again, all the usuals ahead of me. I think that's probably a best of the rest position, to be perfectly honest. So let's just get straight into Canada, though. Again, because this one wasn't very eventful either, but I'm just going to show you the qualifier and a couple of race highlights. From my perspective, at least, it's overcast, but it's not going to rain during qualifying. It's not going to rain during the race either. All Tier 2, Tier 3 and Tier 4, I believe, had rain. I'm not 100% sure on Tier 4 because I went and did some practice when they streamed the Tier 4 drivers, but everyone else had rain at some point in their race. I was kind of sweating a little because I'm not good in the rain. I don't practice in the rain. I always just pray that rain doesn't come. So, which is probably foolish of me, but nonetheless, luckily there wasn't any rain on our race. So this is the qualifying pace. Plan was to go Ultra Softs to Super Softs. I only did one lap. This is the only lap I did qualifying on the Ultra Softs because I didn't want to use that too much tyre wear. As it was, it didn't matter anyway because we had to restart the lobby for the race. So I suppose it didn't really matter. But at the time, I wanted to not use these as much as possible so I could go as long as I wanted or longer in the race on these. Everyone else was going Hyper Softs, which I didn't want to do. I watched Tier 2 and Tier 3, and you know, the best they could get on those was like 11 laps, so I didn't want to go Hypersofts. I wanted to go longer into the race, which in hindsight isn't a great strategy. Here you can see I am on the Hypersofts, see what sort of time I could get, as I think originally got placed 9th, but then I got bumped down to 12th, but I backed off at the last minute on the Hypersofts there, deciding just to leave it where it is, and go on to a different strategy. We were going to go Super Softs to Ultra Softs instead, and run really long into the race. Again, in hindsight, I don't think that's the best race style for me. I should go on to the softest compound, qualify as high as I can on that, and that would give me that. Nonetheless, we got 5 red lights here. We got a teammate just up in front of us, who gets a very good start off the line there. He goes very wide. I get bumped by, I think, Eunice or Burner Bear from behind, but it doesn't affect me, which is fine. Barefoot going really wide there, using him for a bit of slipstream here. I sort of go onto the racing line and I get bumped by Burner again, which forces me wide. There's a huge accident just behind us and I have to give the position back to Hyper Aussie, unfortunately, but as a result it also gives Eunice a position. I broke a little late, unfortunately, in all the chaos and confusion and broke my wing. I think at this point in the race that was where it really hindered me. I had Kretzy right up my bum for a good portion of the start of the race, with, I think, was it Rosatro or Oswegian, one of the Force Indias behind him not far off. So, yeah, and I could feel the difference in the car. Luckily I got that place back from Eunice, which is kind of good. Sorry, Eunice. Yeah, that wing does affect me though throughout the entire race, so I'm umming and ahhing about whether I pit. Do I pit now? But if I did, it's going to be a 2-stopper. I really wanted to do the 1-stopper, so I thought about staying out. You can see a lot of other people coming into the pits. I think about 3 or 4 people came in. Yeah, it's sort of a do you don't, sort of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So I thought I'd start on for a couple laps, see how it goes, see if I could adapt and adjust, which ended up being the plan. So we've got Barefoot in front of us. We're going to chase him down now and see if we can't get ahead of him. We're in P9, so we've gained a couple of positions, which is good. So let's see what we can do here. So it isn't until lap 10 that we start catching Barefoot. And I think, yeah, Markelay just comes out, and I don't know what happens here. I don't know whether Markelay puts Barefoot off, but he goes off into the dirt there and almost collects me. We're gonna go too wide into this bloody corner. I think I forced him wide a little there, but it's still too wide as we come through the little chicane here. But he succeeds the position to me. So that's P8, thankfully. I have a bad exit through there, which gives Barefoot an opportunity to catch me up, but we are going to hold that position, thankfully. Sorry, let's say P8, that's P6. There's been a couple of pit stops, I think, a couple of people going off the hypersofts. As we come on to lap 12 now, I've got Rosatra and the Force India right up behind me. I take the inside line to defend, but I lock up really badly, and that's giving him a great exit, but I'm going to contest the position. I'm running the car absolutely raw. I've got, as you can see, I'm low on fuel, but I'm running high mixture. I'm running overtake just to keep Rosatra off me. I want to fight the position. I am in a fighty mood today. I don't want to give him any positions. So we managed to hold on here for a lap, but he is hot on our heels. Again, in my mind at the time, I was running the car very hot. I was running in high a lot of the time to keep any potential people behind me catching up with the front wing damage that I had. I was going to get the front wing repaired during the pits, onto the Ultra Sausage as fast a tyre, and then I'll start fuel saving from there. So I think the worst I got on fuel was 0.4 or 0.5, I think, or something like that. That's corner cutting. I did get a couple of corner cutting penalties, unfortunately. Yes, thank you, Jeff. Thank you. So yes, that was the plan. So run the car a bit rich, a bit hot to try and combat my slowness through corners. Is what I'm thinking. That's why I did that now. When I was there, I was just, let's just fucking run the car hot down the straights in particular, because I don't want anyone to bloody pass me. Rosatro hitting me from behind there on that hairpin does not appear to have any front wing damage, because he comes down the straight quite well and takes off, and I never see him again. So that's him up into P5, us into P6. Not final positions, obviously. Just gets to pit ourselves. But we're going to run quite long into this stint. We've got Brado behind us now. He came out on that last lap, if you may have seen. He came out of the pits just behind us and Rosatro. So he's right on my ass as well, but I don't have to give him the position either, and I don't want to. So I defend not as hard as I did with Rosatro, because I know Brad's quite quick, so I don't really want to hold him up, but I did want to see how long I could keep him behind me. So as you can see, he has a bit of a look, but we managed to hold on through here. But he will have us down the straight, unfortunately. I'm going to ruin the surprise now. He does get us down the straight. I just didn't have any fight, unfortunately. Yeah, he gets nice close. Yeah, comes up the inside. I take the inside. I brake early. He broke really late, and as a result, it's gone very wide. I think, you beauty. There's another lap that he has to try and get around me. But he just has a monstrous amount of power coming down this straight. He must have been like running fucking no wings. I don't know what he was doing. But yeah, so he catches us right down the inside, really late under brakes. Like, holy shit, Brad. And as a result, I get a time penalty. Not as a result of Brad, as a result of trying to defend him. So yeah, I thought about fighting him back. We're both on super soft, so there's no reason I couldn't. I'm running quite a low amount of fuel, but he runs off into the night, never to be seen again. We're off to catch Rosatro. On the lap 18 now, we've got Hyped Up Game pushing us really wide. I did say to him in chat at the time, you got to leave space, and he did apologise and said he understeered and locked up, so that's fine. But that he gets a position off us, I would have liked to have defended from him as well, but he kind of not quite dive bombed, but came down my inside as a bit of a surprise. Lap 20 now. I think we decided we're going to come in. I think I had a bit of a scary moment just prior to that, so we decided we're going to come in. I was going to come in on lap 22, but we're coming in early to pit for the Ultra Softs. Let's see the pit here. So we've only lost one position in at P9. I think that's pretty good. I think it was only one position we actually ended up losing. So we obviously had built up a big enough gap for to keep people off us, to keep Nostalgic Meat off us more than anything. He did qualify ahead of us, but he was on the Hypersofts. Ooh. Sorry about that. That was my phone if you heard that. It's technically Monday and technically I'm supposed to be working, but I am sick and, well, I'm the boss and I can do whatever the hell I want. Yeah, I heard Hyper Aussie had quite a few penalties, so I was trying to chase him down, but, yeah, banged my front wing and, well, that's all she wrote, really. So, yeah, that is honestly all she wrote. Elusive is going to cross the line just in time for me to not be able to do another lap, so that is the Canadian Grand Prix.
This is your final lap of the race.
Except it's not though, is it, Jeff? I freaked out a little bit because I crossed the line thinking that was it, so I leaned back in my chair in relief, and then he said, this is the final lap, and I'm fucking freaked out. Had to lean forward and grab the wheel again because I thought I was about to cross the bloody corner, but yeah, no, that is it. That's the Canadian Grand Prix, so there are your three top winners. You have Elusive, Markale and Brado. Congratulations to them. Mushu not making it. We almost were able to lap him. He DNF'd on the last or second to last lap, but because of the way the game works, we'd already crossed the line with Elusive, and we didn't get to do another lap, and so I couldn't catch Mushu back up, unfortunately, for 7th place, so he's very bloody lucky. Let's take a look at the standings at the moment. As of Monaco, we will be equal with Nostalgic on, I think, 47 points, I think, so very close battle between the two of us. Elusive eventually is going to catch us up there. Let's have a look at qualifying. We've been knocked down into 5th. We'll be knocked down a little further, I think, as a result of some bad qualifying. But that is it for the next 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. France is going to be next week in 2 weeks. So until then, we'll see you all later.